Testing, testing. All right. See if this works. Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, kind of just getting started here with doing some live streams. If you want to hop into the chat, if you got any questions about the event, be a great time to ask. We can kind of run through the basics. So the website, if you go to the website, there's a lot of information on here. Like animeinthepark.com. Pretty much everything you might be looking for as far as parking and what to expect will be on the website. So see if I can pull this up here. Here we are. So animeinthepark.com. If you go to the homepage, you can just click this button right here to go to the Lake David Park 2025 event. And then from here, you do have quick links to all these kind of like main parts of the event. So starting with our tagline, Anime in the Park brings art, music, and cosplay to public parks. And that in itself, honestly, is a good time. We have a lot more than that. That's just kind of the beginning. But even that in itself is really something that alone is pretty cool. Imagine showing up at a public park and get to cosplay and listen to music and look at artwork. And then we kind of just take it from there and keep adding things and keep making it better. So, at the top here, you're going to see Artist Alley. We have our cosplay showcase, and you don't have to participate in the cosplay showcase. You can show up and just cosplay. You can do like whatever you want. The cool thing is everybody's going to be there to support each other. So, like you might not normally just show up at a public park dressed like Inosuke, but I'm probably going to be doing that on April 26th just because there's strength in numbers and we'll all be able to kind of hang out and do whatever we want. So, like, wear your cosplay, just come out and vibe with us. Really excited to announce we'll have a maid cafe. Cafe Ole, Butler and Maid Cafe will be holding down one of the picnic areas. So it's going to be like an outdoor maid cafe. Really cool stuff. Trivia. Rio the Bunny will be hosting a game show. We're going to have a buzzer system and you can sign up, just show up and play some trivia. We'll have a few prizes available, but as a free event, they're not going to be huge prizes, but it's more about just the fun of playing and doing stuff. This year we will have food trucks, which is really important. Last year, a lot of people were hungry and thirsty and just like, okay, what gives? Like, we're out here all day. I told everybody like, hey, you might want to pack some food and water, but not everybody, not everybody can do that. And also it's a lot more fun just to show up and shop at food trucks. So right now we've got one confirmed, the mobile bubble cap. They've got boba tea, boba coffee, and some pancake bites. And then, of course, at the Maid Cafe, you can get snacks and stuff. We're looking to book one more food truck for the event. Music. We'll have a live punk rock band playing Atomic Treehouse. They're coming out of Tampa. And I'm really excited for this. They're coming out with a full drum kit and bass guitar, and it's gonna be a good time. We'll also have some DJs, including myself. I'll just be spinning like house music mixed with like anime stuff, and we'll have some playlists going throughout the day. Chill vibes, but also we're going to turn up a little bit towards the end of the day. These events are really focused on dancing and getting out and kind of like stepping out of your shell, right? And the way we do that is through art, music, and cosplay. But most notably, the music is a really big part of these events. And then DJ Scholar helped out last year. He'll probably show up again this year. I invited him out. He sounded interested. He really held it down nicely. D&D. So really cool. Cozy Dragon Games. Justin, shop owner, is a really great guy. Um, Definitely, if you're in the Claremont area, if you want to play some D&D during the week and stuff, like check out Cozy Dragon Games. They also got a huge selection of games and stuff that will be um, available um, at their store. But they're going to help us hold it down, and they're going to be running D&D games during the event. So really neat environment. You're sitting under a canopy tent with a bunch of really awesome nerds playing D&D at an outdoor anime convention. Definitely an experience you don't want to miss. Um, so come out. I mentioned the trivia again. Um, the Rio the Bunny, they were a really big help last year for our event. Um, they held it down with just awesome vibes. So really excited for them to host this game show. Um, then a cosplay showcase. So this one, we're still in the works. You can register for it now. We don't have an official time yet scheduled for this event. Probably be towards the afternoon around 5-ish or so, but don't hold me to it yet. The official full calendar schedule is not finalized yet. Probably honestly won't be finalized until, like, honestly, a few weeks before the event, like early April at the soonest. Um, these events, there's a lot of planning involved. So I want to make sure that once we commit to the schedule, that schedule is exact. But it'll probably be about the afternoon. Lip sync performances. This is also like the idol performances. This is going to be towards like midday, um, maybe around like 1 o'clock or so. The interactive panels, again, like, around the 1 or 2 o'clock area. Cosplay meetups. If you want to host a meetup, so like, you know, say that you have an idea, like if you want to start a Demon Slayer meetup or start a Don meetup, or just like, get a group photo, some people, just contact us. Let us know if you want to host a cosplay meetup. And it's really simple as saying like, hey, I'm going to be dressed up as this character. Do y'all want to like come out and do the same thing? A lot of great photo opportunities here. It's a really beautiful park. So if you do want to host a little cosplay meetup, definitely let me know. You can just go to the website and just go to this cosplay meetups section, and go to the contact page. So I did make like a little cosplay lineup template on the website. So obviously it's a 1 day convention. So like you don't have like the whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe one day we'll get there. But this is just a 1 day convention. So if you want to post up what you're going to be cosplaying as, you can just download this image on the website. Um, all day fun. So it's not really like an official event, but we're going to be having fun all day long. Like, again, we're bringing art, music, and cosplay to a public park. Like that in itself is pretty cool, I think. Um, you just show up, you meet some neat people, and like you be yourself. We're gonna be in this little bubble where we can kind of look after each other. And like, again, how often would you just show up at a public park dressed in cosplay? You might feel kind of out of place. Come to anime in the park, you're gonna fit right in. It's gonna be the norm. So we've got some event pages here that I put. Central Florida things to do. Really cool website. Um, Lori, she hooked me up with like a really nice event page here. If you are in Central Florida and looking for stuff to do, I'd highly recommend this website. She's an amazing person. These events are more geared towards like adults. So like a lot of the stuff you see in Central Florida is all for like kids and stuff. So, um, this website, uh, definitely, definitely a really cool place, to check out upcoming events. So Yeah, we're featured on that website. So yeah, media. TC Lifestyle Adventure will be covering the event. He's going to be also probably cosplaying too. I don't know. All our people are nerds, which was what I love. We're all just in this together. But he offered to take some like media coverage, so I think that's really cool. Sponsorships, if you want to help promote the event. So like, right, I'll be honest, this is for me, this is a zero profit event right now. It's kind of just something for, I'm not gonna say just for fun. Like, it's something that my heart compels me to do. So it's really not financially driven, but neither we're not a nonprofit either, because that takes a lot of time and money, and like it is what it is. So basically, like, for these events we're breaking even, but eventually I'd like to get to the point where this could be more sustainable. So if you do want to help with that, like if you're a local business and you want to place an ad on the website, you get thousands of views, and like it's really good people here that you're going to be advertising with. So just hit up the website. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the top here. Um, Anime in the Park. It's gonna be a really good time. One of the big exciting things is our artist alley. So really, like, Anime in the Park, the central focus is going to be artist alley. And if you look at the map here, um, and this is kind of the artist and vendor map. So got a little more information than you might see on the official public map, but it gives you an idea of what we're looking at. So central to the music section of art, music, and cosplay, we have this amphitheater that is also a dance floor. So the cool thing about this is you're going to be able to hop up onto the amphitheater and party with us. And we're going to be playing house music and stuff. Oh, Zebro Tales arrived. Let me hold on. I got to figure out how to bring you in. All right. We got one of the artists that just showed up, but I am kind of new to the whole live streaming thing. So let me pull you in. Zebra, can you hear me? Oh, are you able to hear me? Let me unmute you. Plug this.
You.
Oh, so in the Video Ninja screen, you should probably exit out of YouTube because it's going to be really disorienting, because it's like there's a delay. Um, and then in the Video Ninja screen, I think you have to hover over like my video and like unmute it. Cool. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks.
Cool.
And you can hear me fine, obviously.
hmm
Um, cool. So yeah, thank you for being a part of this. Like, um, have you heard of Anime in the Park before? Or is this like,
I think this is the first time, and then I saw you there last year. I don't think I heard about it last year.
okay, cool, cool. Yeah, last year was like um, our first event, and then we got a lot of returns, people that were artists last year, and like it kind of turned out to be bigger than I expected. And so this year, I'm just trying to like keep the momentum going. So tell me about yourself. Like, do you do a lot of anime conventions, like vending at them, or?
So I just started in 2021 ish.
Okay,
I work a full time job, so it's like I'm slowly building it, but it's hard when you have a full time job. So I do a little bit of convention. I have my dog here.
okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, I got my dog with me too. Hold on. Well, she's bring her. Come on. Yeah, she's like, but now she's gonna be all like, "Oh my god, I want to hang out and do stuff." Hi, baby. What's up?
So I've been last year I did a few conventions. This year I kind of slowed it down just to kind of like
Yeah.
focus on building more materials, more artwork. So right now I'm
Okay.
just focusing on that before I can. Okay, now what? Before I can do more conventions again, because the tabling have just been pricey. It just keeps going up, and then you're like,
Yeah.
and then
It,
you have to put the items. You gotta sell stuff higher, and then people are like,
right.
this is expensive.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like, it's just a shame to see like this whole world is kind of like squeezing everybody into this like machine of suffering and money, and So like that was one of my goals with keeping the event like free to enter and trying to keep the artists dues somewhat affordable. They had to go up a little bit this year because I'm driving like 3 hours and the U-Haul is expensive, and I'm like, um, but it's a when I say it's a community thing, like it's for real. Like we're trying to just um, treat it like a co-op. Like all the artists, you guys are literally coming out with your tents and building the
Yeah.
infrastructure. So like, so that's one of the cool things about Anime in the Park. Like it just kind of flips everything on its head, as far as how the conventions are run. So like, I work a full time job too, and it's hard. I come home and I'm just like, um, okay, I've got all this stuff I want to get done, and then all of a sudden it's 11 p.m. and I have to go to bed. So I'm sure as an artist, you know the same feeling. You start working on something and get carried away, and you're like, oh crap, that's right.
The other day I was like up like 2 in the morning. I was like, oh, I should really go to sleep, but I
Yeah,
wanted to get some stuff done.
yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, it's really neat. I mean, so you said you've been tabling for a few years now, right? Like doing
Yeah,
comic
just trying to
conventions.
figure out. I'm always like trying to figure out what to do next because newer animes are coming out. So you get one anime, you're like, yes, I'm excited. And
Yeah.
you buy all the materials, and then there's a new anime that comes out, and then people are like, they're not into that, they're into this, and you're like, okay.
Right.
So it's always like behind, or like when you have something that was good, and then you're selling a lot of them, and then it doesn't do so good. So you have to always come up with new things.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think like I don't know. For me, like Demon Slayer is one of those ones that personally I'm always into because like that was my first cosplay, like in
Okay.
Inosuke. So whenever I see like Demon Slayer merchandise, I kind of just have to buy it. It's, but you're right. It's a constantly changing momentum. Like it's hard for me to stay up with the new ones though because there's so many of them. Like I did watch Dandadan, uh,
Hmm.
and that was pretty cool. That was a pretty wild ride. Um,
It was a
but
weird one. I had to like take a break and then rewatch it and then actually see it because I was kind of like not looking, and I
yeah,
just every time I looked up someone was like half naked, so then I was just like, what am I watching? So I had to like take a break and then actually
yeah,
come back a week later to like watch it from the beginning, but truly watch it and be like, okay, I like this, I'm chilling with it.
yeah. That's the hard part. My wife always walks in at those moments when it's just like I'm like, no, no, no. I could explain. I'm here for the plot. I promise. Like, anime always does that. I'm just like, come on, y'all have, especially the first episode of Dandadan. I was like, I can't watch this in front of other people.
I work with kids and I sketched out Momo,
Yeah,
and just like her face. And there, for some reason, from all my characters I sketched out, they really like Momo.
yeah.
And they finally asked me today, where's this girl from? Like, what show?
Uh,
Don't worry about it.
yeah, you'll find
What do you?
out in like,
You don't need to know what show because and it's sad because they know I draw
yeah,
them and they're like, oh, it's so cute, the little cat, this and that,
yeah.
and just what show? It's
Nope, nope. You got to have a driver's license before I answer that.
like I'm not trying to get fired from my job.
Right. No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I used to work at a college and that was kind of interesting, but at least like everybody's old enough so it doesn't matter, but
Right.
you gotta yeah, that's really cool. So have you ever done like outdoor events before?
I done an outdoor event at a venue, at a like music venue.
Oh, okay,
Those are
cool.
like iffy because they're loud. So
Yeah,
depending on where they put you, and then people are also coming in and just trying to get drunk or just trying to have like they're
right.
trying to dance. So it's like always like a hit or miss type of venue.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I mean, yeah, that's one thing. Like, we really toe the line. So, like last week, I was at the Banyan Live at this anime rave. Um,
Oh, that was the West Palm Beach one. I
yeah,
wanted to
it
go. I
was a
didn't
lot of
go.
it was a lot of fun, and like I love stuff like that. But Anime in the Park kind of toes the line. We're kind of in the middle. Like, we definitely there's going to be house music, and like we have a decent sized sound system. um and like last year we had fire spinning performance and like flow art. So it's definitely geared towards that line. But we also take like a softer approach, so the music's not going to be blasting in your ears like at some events. it's hard to even have a conversation.
Hmm.
um and it's, it's technically like all ages. So the vision for it, it might expand, it might grow, but like I think at this Lake David Park, it's just this really nice kind of balance where you can go inside the main amphitheater and like stick your head in the base and really feel everything, but on the outskirts of it, it all becomes
You'll
like
be fine.
ambience.
I'm interested because I used to work for events, like outdoor events, and when I saw this I was interested to see how it's gonna go because it's not a convention. You're not going inside a building, you're not paying
Right.
an X amount of money, whatever. This is outdoors and it's like it's free, right?
It is free, yeah. It's free
Yeah.
entry. That's part of how I was able to keep the costs so low. So like when I approached Groveland, they're just like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be all this money to rent the space," and I'm like looking at my wallet. I'm like, well, I don't really have any money." Like,
Oh,
and so we worked out a deal, and I was just like, "Hey, what if I make it like a free event to the public and like, mind my p's and q's and like, make everything really organized." And they gave me a chance last year, and
nice.
like it was really nice. And like I think they just, they knew I was serious about what I was saying. Like it really is a community event. I sometimes say it's disguised as an anime convention, um, but it's really just me like ripping like my heart out and saying like, okay, we need to do something to bring people together and just kind of have some fun. And also I just like playing music and cosplaying, and so like it kind of just made sense to bring it all together like that.
No, I'm really interested. Like at a park, I'm hoping it won't be too hot. Like right now, it's been nice weather. Um, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, it is the only thing you do kind of have to be prepared. Last year was like it was super nice up until the event. It got super hot, and like it's kind of just roll the dice. But if you're under the shade tent, you should be okay as long as you're drinking a lot of water and stuff. It's
Is we're sorry.
No, you're good.
Is there water available to be around?
So I'm gonna be. I've, I'll have my cooler, and I usually would just like hand out water. Like last year, I just handed out water for free just to kind of help out. But it's like definitely as part of the survival guide is like kind of make sure you pack a cooler. It's almost like think of it kind of like Burning Man, but like a light version, where you're just like, you're in a public park, and like if you need to, if you need something, it's not like things are miles away. um
It's just slowly roasting a little bit.
oh so, yeah, it'll be like, yeah, just like kind of cooking, but you're under a tent.
You're
And
right.
it's
Like a little oven.
right, yeah. No, it wasn't so bad, honestly. Last year I was a little worried, but like, I mean, a lot of people stuck it out the whole day. And like, as long as you're pacing yourself, like you as an artist, you'll be fine. You'll be sitting under your canopy tent,
Yeah, no,
um,
I know I'll be fine.
and it'll be
I'm just
breezy.
worried about the people walking around and they don't think about it, especially like around
Yeah,
noon, around 1 or 2. Like it gets
it
hot.
it gets pretty hot. So so you won't be able to see this, but on my screen on the stream, I'll show kind of a map. So next to the amphitheater, I have what's called the recharging lounge, and
Now I'm
inside
watching
of
that
the
live. I see it.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so the recharging lounge, it's basically going to be a 12 by 12 canopy tent that has some illuminate attached to it to stretch out to the side here. And I'm going to have some like yard blankets and stuff and some fans running. And this is a place to recharge both your phones and yourself. So like, if people are like
Phone
overheated and
charging
stuff.
too.
What's that?
No, I'm amazed that you got phone charger too. You got everything for them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll be running an extension cable. And because of like liability and stuff, I can't really run power to a lot of the artist booths out here, because it's like a tripping hazard.
Right.
But the recharging lounge, yeah, I'm just gonna try to make that a spot, and I'm gonna encourage people to like, yo, if you're feeling like a little toasty, a little hot, like honestly, just go sit in the shade for a bit and chill. We're gonna be here all day. There's no rush. Like, um, and then I'll be there too because I'll be like I'll be running around like a madman trying to run the event. But every once in a while, I have to tell myself like, nope, stop, go chill for a minute. Um, but yeah, that is a um, really important factor. Is like you've got to make sure that we're all looking out for each other, because it's going to be hot. Not gonna lie, it's April in Florida, but if you do it right and if you pace yourself, um, it'll all be good.
Right. That was just is saying like a lot of people I've seen, like I have gone to the green market, to the green market, and I've seen people pass out because they don't drink
Yeah,
water. It's where the temperature is just up there.
yeah, no, it's really pretty scary, like to know, what could happen like with heat stroke and stuff. I had heat stroke once. I thought I was like impervious because like, oh, I drink a lot of water, like my electrolytes, but I was doing like a parking shift for this event. It's like, you know,
You're moving.
like a volunteer event, and I was just like, you know, leading cars down to parking areas, and it was hot. I had my
Hmm.
hat on. I had like a bottle of water, and I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. But like, I was starting to feel a little dizzy, and then after my shift was over, like I go back to camp, and I'm like laying in the hammock, and I just started like being really nauseous and like, purging, and I'm just like, I feel terrible. And like it just hit me, like I think I like slept for like a good 6 hours, and
Yeah,
like,
that sounds about right.
yeah, I'm just like, oh my god. So like that's what it feels like. It sucks.
You're
So
out
like,
for the count.
yeah, I was out for the count. I was like, you know what, not not gonna do this again. Electrolytes. So like at the event last year, like I said, I brought a big cooler, and I wasn't charging for water. Like it really depends. Like it's um kind of just for the love of the community. Is like if you come up and you're like, I'm thirsty, I didn't bring any water, I would just hand them a water bottle, and they're like, how much? I'm like, well, I don't know, man, just take it. Like it's so. But we'll see how sustainable that is. Like it all just, like I don't want to make everything about money, so I want people to show
Of
up and be
course.
like, we are, this collective unit, and we're all going to support each other. um, and then I tell people, as a matter of fact, like how the economic structure is, like you as one of the artists, like you're basically investing in this time period, and investing that people are going to show up and like buy your merchandise. And so like a lot of the advertising and stuff, I really push that and promote that, be like, yo, if you show up and you've got like 20 bucks or something to spend, like please support the artists that are here. um, and then everything else, like, is a safety issue, water and stuff like that. I feel like if you need water, like I'll hand you a water bottle until we run out. I always buy a bunch of water and keep them in the cooler. Um, but on the same token, like I encourage people to like be, um, like self-reliant, to kind of be prepared. So like we've got, I did write up a survival guide for, um, people who are like maybe not used to being outside and stuff, because like it's a bunch of nerds, right? you know
We like to stay inside and play,
yeah.
video games, watch a lot of animes.
So like I'm a weird nerd, so like I'm kind of in between everything. um like I'm a nerd, but I'm also like different, I don't know. So I have like propaganda memes, like Florida's hot, stay hydrated. Like that's important, like literally, Luffy chugging that water, like that revitalized him in that scene. So like that's kind of the message I'm sending. um Water, bring your medications, bring food if you have allergies, bring a lawn chair, like we're at the park, dude, just like,
That's a
you
good thing.
know
Long share.
yeah. And then because especially like we're gonna have like a trivia game, so like people can post up and like be an audience member and just like set up their chair. It's gonna be real loose. And then bring sunscreen and like a little, maybe like an umbrella or something, and earplugs if you're highly sensitive to sound, especially for the live band, because it's gonna be a lot louder. The house music will be pretty tamed because like we've got like two 18-inch subs, some Meyer Audio MS3, like giant mids, and then some Yamaha tops. It's hobbled together, but it sounds pretty nice. And it's not gonna be clipping. Like I'm pretty strict about making sure things sound nice and are not overdone. I hate the events. I don't know if you've ever been to like a lot of public events do this, where like they'll have a line array system, that is just blasting you with like high treble sound and you can't hear anything. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I used to do events, so I did it once where I had this little machine. They had me like walk around, like 50 feet away from the stage, and I had to always like measure to see if it wasn't too high or too
Okay,
low.
decibel reader. Yeah, I'll be bringing my decibel reader as well, and just making sure that things are in check. But like, really, it's about balance. A lot of like outdoor festivals, especially like free ones and open stuff. What they tend to do,
It's all bass or it's all ugh.
it's all treble, which is even worse, honestly, because like it's harsh. Like what they try to do is they crank the top speakers that are easy to overdrive and easy to project, but they don't
Right.
have enough subwoofers to match the energy. So I know it's a fairly small rig, so I'm going to keep it all at the moderate level. So when you show up on stage, it's going to sound perfect. But in the outskirts, it's more just like ambience for the event. So it's yeah, it's a nice way to do it. But yeah, what kind of shows do you go to, or did you mostly just work at them? Is it
Well, because like I started like when I was 18-ish, I was like with events. So I
yeah,
started like an intern and then I moved up the chain. It was just public events or the city events. And then because like I was trying to learn more about events, I would go to events and I got into them. So I
yeah,
did a lot of emo nights venues, or
nice.
I went to like different venues down south. I haven't done a lot in Orlando. So I'm from West Palm Beach.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah. So yeah, my wife and I, we just moved down to Port St. Lucie, from Orlando. So like Port St. Lucie, it's like a small town, but like I'm an hour away from West Palm. So like,
it's nice. It's a nice be in between.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of in between. So yeah, we'll definitely like West Palm where it's at for like anime raves and stuff. I noticed.
Not yet. Not yet. That's the first time. Because
Really?
when I want to do anime or anything that relates to anime, I have to go down to Fort Lauderdale or I have to
That's
go to
right.
Orlando. West Palm Beach
That's
is a
true.
bunch of old people.
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I just got lucky because like you're
That
right.
that yeah.
Yeah, the other one I went to was actually in Fort Lauderdale too. And that Fort Lauderdale's wild. I thought,
That's another place that it's you to find parking. They're like a little party house. You go there. West Palm Beach is more the Palm Beach because of all the rich white people. Like
yeah, oh yeah,
you got those guys. So that's a lot of so West Palm Beach is now building more like rich like restaurants and stuff. It's like a little pricey on certain areas,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. No, it's true. I've seen that because I think it was West Palm Beach that has that whole like really like pinky in the air area. They got like a parking garage and stuff. I remember I went into this Herman Miller store. They sell these like $5,000 office chairs. And, like I don't know if the guy just like profiled me, but like I walked in, I was just like, "Hello, I'd like to look at some chairs." And like the dude, the dude didn't even stand up. He just like he looks at me. All right, and I'm just like, "Well, shit." Like,
are
I'm
you gonna hello? Are you gonna
sorry.
greet
Like,
me? No,
yeah,
something.
it's like maybe the chair was just that comfortable. I don't know, and like maybe he just didn't get up. But I felt like I felt like he just like looked at me. He's like, this guy is not gonna buy a $5,000 office chair, and like I was like, and I mean he wasn't wrong. So I can't.
There, yeah, West Palm Beach is definitely right now. There's a part where like my friends we would go hang out and they like destroy all the like kids stuff, like all the young adults, all the youth stuff. And
Yeah,
it's like they just replaced it with like high on restaurants and like pricey like stores and shopping center. And you're like, all right, bro. I
yeah,
guess I'm just going. I have to drive down or drive up.
yeah. That's the shame to see. Now Fort Lauderdale, I will say, like the nightlife there, man, that anime rave didn't get out till like I think like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
And I was just like, I'm about that, but at the same time, it was like, I was like, wow, I'm used to Orlando, like 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. is like everything's like, all right, you guys got to go home, like go to the after party or something,
right.
late. But not Fort Lauderdale, bro.
No,
They were just like 4
4
a.m.
in the
This
morning.
fist
Yeah,
pumping. I'm trying to walk back to my car. I got people running up to me, just like still partying. I'm like, cool, that's what's up. And I was all like cosplayed up as like I think I was like Inosuke or something. So I'm just like I I felt fine. Like I felt right at home because the streets it was just so wild there. But I
Because
did
there's so
take
people around.
yeah, so many people, but like I did end up taking an Uber. I listened to the locals. They're like, yeah, don't try walking back to the hotel. Um,
No, it's weird in Fort Lauderdale. I did it was like I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. I was trying to like pack myself and leave, and it was me and my brother, and we were getting hungry.
yeah,
And we were trying to go to a Burger King, and right next to the Burger King there was like a sketchy homeless person, and we decided just to head home.
yeah, no,
Like
it's yeah, and this was right near like where the bus station, train station, and stuff is, and like so there was just like literally like 100 something people just hanging out.
you were like in that downtown-ish, that like
Yeah,
main spot
downtown,
of.
downtown. Um, but it's fun. Like I like all that stuff. So like anime in the park, I'm trying to kind of bring like that world, but also bring like the softer side and just kind of like meet in the middle.
No, I like it because with those venues like you go to 4 in the morning, you don't get like family people, like the kids and stuff. And sometimes like it's the younger generation that we have to bring up. And
Yeah,
the anime in the park brings that family style, but also you can have adults come in too.
exactly. Yeah, it's really when I say it's for all ages, like it's honestly predominantly more for like younger adults and older teenagers. But like last year, one of the coolest things I saw, this father brought his little girl, and like she was up on stage just like headbanging in front of the subwoofer. And he just looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, she loves bass. She loves bass music." And I was like, "That is what I'm talking about." Like, it was so wholesome and just honest, and like the way this world is going, like I don't know. I think a part of me just kind of gave up and I'm just like none of this matters. Like things are so messy and terrible, like in general, that like why don't we just try to have fun and like what have we got to lose? So that's part of my motivation. It kind of stems
Nice.
from like a dark place, but it's you know it's all for the fun of it. But
No, it's beautiful. I always wanted to do something like that, but it was always like a scary thing of like you did it, you took a step and it worked, and it's beautiful.
yeah,
This is the older generation bringing the younger generation. Be like, this is what anime is. Here's Naruto.
yeah.
Like here's Naruto music, and then you see all of them just Naruto running around the stage. And you're like,
That
that's my daughter.
That's right. That actually happened last year. I had the Naruto theme like on the playlist, and like you see everyone doing the running through.
Naruto run.
I was like, "Yep, yep, that's my people."
I can
Yeah,
just imagine someone driving past the park, like trying to get like some practice done. Where are we gonna go? What the? I just see people running around, just like I'm gonna find a different park.
yeah. One of the first people that showed up was like a furry on a motorcycle,
Oh,
and I was just like had patchwork, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're getting weird. Let's do it." Like, like
starting fresh, starting early.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's funny. Some of the people
Yeah.
on the Facebook were just like, "Is there gonna be a bunch of weird stuff?" Like, I'm just like, "Heck yeah!" like that's
Hmm.
absolutely. I didn't even reply to it because it was just like, "Don't feed the trolls." But it was kind of like,
But
uh,
definitely feed them. They're
yeah,
hungry.
yeah, maybe we should feed them. Honestly, yeah, It's-
You should invite them. Yeah, definitely. There's gonna
yeah.
be some creepy stuff. You should come.
No, exactly. No, and that's the thing too. Like honestly, everybody's invited for real. Like even if anime is like you're like, what's anime? Like you're gonna show up and you're gonna see a bunch of cool stuff like artwork and like music and
The show and stuff. If you said the fire dance or something, right?
yeah,
The
last year
fire,
we
that's
had
cool.
a fire spinning show. This year might not have it just because like I don't know, trying to do different stuff and the logistics for that it's a lot of extra stuff. This year's gonna be more focused on some like more panels and we're gonna have like a lip sync showcase and like more interactive stuff too. But it's definitely inspired like flow art is one of the things to me that is like really important. And I see the anime community starting to get into flow art and stuff, and I definitely want to like encourage that and keep it going.
Flow art is what's flow art?
Yeah, flow art is just like fire spinning and poi and stuff, and just like the kinetic movement of like props that you'd use. Um, so, for example, like in this picture here, like my buddy AJ from Starshot performing, he's just spinning these little like
I
poi.
think okay. I
Um,
think I seen like what you mean.
yeah, and I might even try to do something like a little poi workshop at one of these events. Maybe not this one because there's just so much to plan. But they're really easy to build. Like literally, you just take an old pair of tube socks, put one tennis ball inside each tube sock, and you twirl them around. And you just like it's literally just like a motion thing. And for people who are maybe like afraid to dance or afraid to just like loosen up, this is a way where like your brain it disconnects from that idea of like, oh, I can't like move or dance. Like you're literally
You're
just
just more focusing on just moving that little sock.
right. You're twirling these things around. Um, and at raves and like Burning Man and these types of events, like this is a really integral part of that mind body connection. And so, definitely for the future, like in Anime in the Park. Oh, I forgot to turn on I was going to screen share, but definitely for the future of Anime in the Park, that's kind of where I'm going with all this. And so, I just want people to like relax and be free and like move around because for me that was one of my big like changes in life when I just stopped caring. Like I used to be I'm still kind of uptight but like I used to be like just really nervous to like move or dance in public, and something just snapped many years ago. And I want other people to experience that. It's like it's just I don't know, I think it's important.
No, for sure. I know what you mean. It's at first you're self conscious and you're thinking about it, but then as sooner or later you're gonna realize no one's really watching you or no one's really caring in a way that you think, and then you're dancing out there, and then people will look at you and be like, "Damn, I want to be them."
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So and like here's AJ in his fire spinning set from last year, Starshot performing. He was cosplaying as Gear Fifth Luffy. And so like, it wasn't perfect. We had but that's part of it, like, we just light them on fire and
oh, I was gonna say, I was like, God bless him. Like, I would get myself like, I would catch on fire.
well, I think part of the reason he was a little reserved too is because the cosplay
I
he
was gonna
built
say,
is very it could be very flammable, so
yeah,
like
the
you had
thing
to
on
be
his
very
back.
careful. Yeah, that's why he pays for good insurance. So so
That's
yeah, something like
cool.
that. But poi is basically um that but you don't have to light it on fire. The lighting on fire is just like the like extra step.
The extra little,
Yeah, it has a little oomph, and at night
yeah.
it looks really cool at night.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
this was like at sunset that we did this, and it it turned out really well. Um, so yeah, flow
That's so
art.
cool.
It literally just like there's a lot of different definitions, but to me it's just like flow art. I mean, just as it sounds, it's just the art of kinetic motion and using your body to manipulate objects. And if you do it in a way that feels graceful to you, that's the point. And then sometimes it connects and it looks graceful to other people, and that's cool too. So, but so yeah, this year we'll try to promote it and keep it going like that. Um,
Do you have anything like as people are walking around, like if I don't know, I have to check again, but if I don't know if there's like something going on every hour on the hour, is there like also like sensory things you have that as
hmm,
people are,
that's a good question. Not
or like
not
like little hula hoops that they can play as they're just instead
Oh
of
yeah.
just
So I will have, just like last year, I actually brought some flow art props, and those will be sitting on stage, and then like you can just borrow them and move them around. Um, so like that's kind of the start. But yeah, I'll definitely bring some like things you can twirl around and get a taste for poi, and like encourage people to do that. Um, we had a lot of fun last year with people on stage, just kind of picking those objects up and flowing with them. So like um, we had so like all these objects. You can see it's like all ages too. Just like hold on, I need to change to the monitor. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. So these poi with the attached drapes to them, and then Bombshell Cosplay, they actually brought their own too. they fit the vibe perfectly. Like,
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
and so literally just twirl them around. So I'll be bringing my red and blue ones, that like those ones I brought last year, and encouraging people, like, if you've never done this before, like just pick them up and twirl them around, and then before you know it, people are dancing and they don't even realize they're dancing. Um, and so that's what's so awesome about this. Um, it this kind of stuff helped me break out of my shell and helped me kind of become like the person I am today. And then I hope this guy comes back, DJ Scholar. He really like did a nice job. He just showed. He's just like, hey, I'd like to DJ a little bit, and like he held it down. He used to DJ at clubs in Orlando and stuff. Um, and so yeah, flow art. You know, it's really just moving these objects and having fun. And like this kid just hopped up and was like getting into it. And then this is kind of a glimpse of the artist alley from last year. Um,
It was like a little. It was a great little preview because I haven't seen anything of it. So
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea. It's like the stage is kind of like the centerfold, and then the artist alley just kind of circles around it. So where everybody can um, just walk around. And so if loud music and stuff isn't really your thing, you can just hang out in the artist alley all day and just kind of watch from a distance and see everybody. But the moment you go into the dance floor area, that's where the front of house speakers are. So it's going to be louder and you can dance. And that's also where we're going to have shows like the cosplay showcase. Like there's going to be times where we tell people like, all right, everybody got to leave for a minute. And it's kind of a dual purpose. Um, and then I'm really excited for the Maid Cafe too. It's going to be tucked over here. Um, that's a new addition for this year. Um, and then we're probably like, this hasn't been officially approved by the city yet, but we're looking at possibly closing down the street on North Lake Avenue and having some Itasha cars lined up. Um, but we've got to work with the city to confirm that. But it sounds like it'll be happening. And then we're going to at least have a couple food trucks here. So that'll be nice to have that. Then Dungeons and Dragons games will be going on over at G1 all day, hosted by Cozy Dragon Games. And then there's a couple artists out in the outskirts here. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So like yeah, all this started honestly. It was a couple of years ago. I was working, like I said, I was working at this college, and then we supported this library, and like I was just hanging out with like these library people, like they're my friends, and it's just like government job, and I was just like, talking a bunch of smack, and I was like, yo, we should throw like a rave inside the library one day.
oh God, out of all the places, the library. That's
No,
where we have to do it.
exactly. And they're just like, they laughed, and it was like, and I was kind of joking, and I'm like, hey, like, what if we really try, like, what if we really tried to do something like that? And then, so a couple of years ago, that's where actually the idea for NetsuCon came, which is like like a really small convention that I started a couple of years ago. And I put in a room request and I described it just as it is. We're going to have music, and like we had Azazus, my friend who's a rapper, perform. And we had like, I did a house music set. We had a cosplay runway showcase. We had the D3K universe out doing the pose panel that they did at Holiday Matsuri a lot. And we held it down. We actually pulled it off because I just got to work. I was like, I'm started writing down ideas and building it out. And so after that first NetsuCon, that's what inspired me. I was like, I got to keep this momentum going. I'm like, what if we did the same thing, sort of, but in a public park? And that's where I was like, oh, anime in the park. And it was originally going to be me and like 5 homies just hanging out, playing music, and like setting up a tent with some art. And then it kind of grew a lot from there. And then this year, it's growing even more. So yeah, we'll see where it goes, but it's.
Oh, I see that you're trying to get another park. I think for next year or for later this year.
Both kind of like, so idea for anime in the park is not really limited to one park. So right now it's only been held at the Lake David Park in Groveland. But that's mostly because like I work a full-time job just like most of us, and it's hard to plan these things, and so like I'm taking it. I don't want to get overzealous, but the idea is to do this at a lot of parks all over the state. So definitely like down in our neck of the woods, Fort Pierce might be an option, but they wanted a lot of money to rent the space. So it'd have to like just like you were describing with like costs and everything, you got to shift the cost to everybody else. I'm trying to find a way to do it for as like cheap as possible as a community gathering.
Right.
But I'm definitely trying to gather roots down here in like the Treasure Coast and probably West Palm and stuff too. So I'll definitely keep you posted for future events because I'm trying to bring them to public parks everywhere.
Right. No, that's why I was like trying to think. I was like, how is this guy doing it? Because West Palm Beach, my brother worked for the city of West Palm Beach, and he does the
Yeah,
event like the rentals and stuff. So I think about that stuff. I'm like, if you were able to do it, like it's a way.
yeah, and I think the nice thing is I've got this proof of concept with these two events and like the Netsucon events, and like most city councils, if their heart's in the right place, they really just want to know that the events they're holding are well organized and safe and are going
Right.
to bring in like the right kind of environment, and like we have that. So now it's just a matter of like trying to get them to keep it all affordable, which is like it's hit or miss, but I have faith. I think if we go in, like if I just keep going in with my heart on my sleeve and be like, hey, this is
Yeah.
what we're bringing, this is what we've brought, and like the city of Groveland, like they've been super helpful with me, and they've been really happy with like how organized I am. Like I show them all the maps and the
Oh, you're
layouts and
doing
the
great with the site maps.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm extremely meticulous. Like it's my nature to be super super creative and like bubbly and aloof, but the moment I feel under pressure or the moment I feel like oh I have to get something done, I get super analytical and very like zeros and ones. So it's this weird hybrid of like la di da, like whatever, which is where I come up with these creative ideas. Yeah, the art. And then I just immediately like get super strict into solidifying it. And I don't know. And I just hate chaos. Like,
No,
I don't
it's
know.
like beautifully done. Like I've seen people with who are like in events, like they do some events, and it's just like not like there has to be an organization. There has to be like some structure.
Yeah.
And for when I saw yours, I was like, oh, this guy. I legit was like, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm like confident
Thank
to
you.
walk it in, and I know
Yeah.
where I'm gonna be. I was just like, oh, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Cool. And I do that because I'm the kind of person that um I plan ahead for stuff and I geek out. My wife makes fun of me. She's like, why can't you just go and have fun? I'm like, I got a whole packing list. I've got a whole and that's I think that's a lot of our people and in the art community, in the anime community, we're a little neurospicy and we like to be, you know, we sometimes feel better when we know exactly what to expect. And so
Yeah.
I wanted to give that to people because I've been on the opposite end where like I don't know, like nobody's telling me what's going to happen, like what's the plan. And so yeah, I'm glad that you see that. And then closer to the event, we'll have an actual schedule of events, but that's probably not going to be for like
No,
probably
that's
like
fine.
2 or
Yeah.
3 weeks before the event because everything just kind of I'm
No, you've been
flexible too.
perfect. You've been perfect on like updating us and like at least there's a site map. We're gonna be here.
Yeah,
And then as we get closer, there's gonna be a schedule. And I'm like, I'm chilling. Like I
cool.
feel I have confidence that this
Nice,
is gonna be
nice.
okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got yeah, it's crazy like my actual like step by step too is like I kind of have ideas for so the layout it's funny like I was like how am I going to make this all like fit on here? So like my method um I have these weird way of measuring things. I actually have a string that I pre-measured and I tied washers to it and I just like I measure out each vertice and then I'll just put a little weight on top of it because you can't use stakes or anything.
Right.
And then I just use like a square, and I have like a fiberglass pole that I use to measure out. So,
Oh, you went and did that.
oh yeah,
I
oh
thought
yeah,
you just kind of like eyeballed it. Like I would have done like, all right, cool, for here.
oh no, these are
Oh wow.
exactly. Well, I use a combination. I originally designed this in like using Google Maps, but
Right.
this is all to scale. So each block of 4 artist booths is actually a 24-foot by 24-foot square. And so that gives you a 4-foot corridor inside to move some space and give some flex room because it won't be perfect. Um,
Right.
but then for the vertices laying down in reality, when you show up at the park, it's easy when you look at it on a map. You're like, oh yeah, it goes right there, right there. When you show up, reality is so much more different. The space, because you're standing like on this 3D element, you're like, oh wait, how far does that go? So you have to have some objective measurement. Um, and so that way, like when y'all show up, I'll pretty much have your little spot be like, oh, you're right there. And it doesn't matter what time you show up because like all the spaces will be divvied out. Um, so stuff like that is important. And like it's those little things that like you don't really think about until you actually implement it and you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
how is this all gonna fit here? But it keeps me from not being stressed out as much when I have a plan. So then the day of show, you know, kind of just chilling. Like I'm going around, I'm just, it's like a light touch. It's like, okay, we're going to push in this direction. We're going to nudge that way. And then everything should just fall into place. Like,
Yeah.
but,
Are
but
you
yeah,
the only one like doing this?
yeah, I treat it like, well, I'll take that back.
Oh.
Last year, my good buddy Daniel and also Daniel, and like, yeah, there's another Daniel. No, not just no, no, I promise I'm not.
Daniel and Daniel.
No, no, there's another Daniel, and he's my buddy for like a long time. He showed up and was hugely instrumental. Then my buddy Justin helped in the morning. He showed up because my other buddy Daniel's not a morning person, so he helped me pack out. And so um, definitely like definitely people helped with like the physical moving stuff and like help me with stuff, and that's always a blessing. But as far as like the planning and the marketing and the website and all the logistics and stuff, it's pretty much just me being busy every night, just coming home from work and being like, all right, let's spend another 4 hours like building stuff. Um, but it's for the love of it, and and the nice thing is too, like you as one of the artists, like every artist is going to help set up their own tent and be part of the infrastructure. So the end result is this really beautiful tapestry where like I set up. I've got a few 12 by 12s that I set up for infrastructure and like a shade tent area. Um, but it's really everybody else that's just kind of believing the vision for it and moving through with it that builds up the whole event. So I can't say it's just me, but I'm doing a lot.
No, you're doing a lot. Yeah. But
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's cool. So all right, well, yeah, I don't think anyone else was gonna hop on tonight, but thanks for being like the first testing this out. I was like, this is my first time doing YouTube live. And I was like trying to make it look somewhat official with the videos and stuff. But
You did great. I'm also confused with technology, so I you did great. Like for being a test run.
yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, it was just like I was like, yeah. So I'm gonna try to do them every Wednesday. So like, yeah, I think this is great. And the cool thing is too, I just wanted to kind of meet some of the artists too, because like you weren't part of this last year. And I just like chit chat with people anyway. It's you know, so
No, I'm all good. It was nice to finally like, meet you and not just hear you and see your face because I seen the Instagram or the YouTube or whatever, and so I was like, all
yeah,
right, cool. I'll join and show my face a bit and talk.
yeah, it's neat. Thanks. Yeah, it's not easy like put myself out there. Like I'm not really a out there like camera kind of person. I'm more of like behind the scenes and doing stuff, but I don't really have any other choice right now. It's like, you know, I want people to show up and I want people to know it's the real deal. So,
It's a real thing. It's not a lie. There's gonna
yeah,
be anime at this park.
exactly, exactly. There's so many weird like AI and stuff. That's why we've banned AI from our events. AI artwork, but like all the all the fakeness out there in social media is almost stomach turning. Like,
It's hard. Oh my god, the videos like you seen with actors, they're like and they move and they shift face. That's
oh yeah,
scary. That
it's
they
scary.
can just grab a picture and then use them to talk or do something with them.
Yeah, it's weird and like
Ugh.
so I don't know. That's the whole thing is like we're gonna go touch grass, so we're gonna be outside and I need to get off my phone more often. Like it's I'm bad about
No,
it
as you
too.
said, we're anime geeks. I legit go Saturday morning to a coffee shop. Like instead of going to the market and
Nice.
touching grass, I'm drawing. I'm just inside for another 4 hours inside in the morning, and then I
Oh,
come home and I draw again.
I know. Yeah, it's hard. Like my back and everything is like, oh my god, my back and shoulders is so messed up because I work on a computer all day. I'm an IT nerd for my day job. Then I come home and I'm working on my website for the anime in the park and stuff. And I'm
And
like,
then you
oh
go to bed.
yeah. It's, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I'm just gonna get 6 hours of sleep. I'm gonna play some video games, and then I'm still like punched.
Right.
So like, it's it's tough, but do what we got to do. So, but
Alright.
yeah, I don't know if you had any other questions. We can probably wrap it up and start getting ready for you know sitting the night down or
Nah, I think I'm all good. I asked my question with regarding like I thought of sensory things. I work with kids, so I think of like
yeah.
if you're not doing something because you've seen all the art, or maybe there's not music going on, like to keep them here, I think of like our
I,
sensory, something to play with.
I'm glad you said that. I do have. Last year, I brought like a giant bubble thing, so
Oh, bubbles, yeah.
I'll probably bring that again. Glad actually I'm glad you said that. I want to
Do
talk
you
a
have
minute
shock?
to chalk. No, that might be cool too. I'll ask if we're allowed to like draw on the amphitheater because
Oh, hmm. All right, okay.
I
I was
wonder.
like thinking, I was like, sidewalk is fine. It's like
Ah,
splash some water or like rain will come.
yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I just know they use that venue for a lot of other stuff, so I just didn't know if they wanted to. I'm gonna ask the city though, because like that would be cool, like just to bring people up and like draw on the amphitheater stage. If
That's
that
something.
But yeah, definitely bubbles. I'll bring again this year. Bubbles. I'll bring some of my flow art toys. But the fact that you say that, like sensory stuff, that honestly, the long term vision for these things is to really create like a miniature city. It almost is like a miniature city that we're building. Um, like no, really, like you walk in and instead of like a vendor booth, you have a tiny village of maybe like a group of artists who want to curate kind of a theme where you enter and have
Yeah.
almost like a theme camp and with
Yeah, you go
interactive
into that tent,
stuff.
right? You go into the tent and you're coloring. Like if you can do like a coloring booth, that's what I would do. I done like tot events, like a tent
Mm,
and just I don't know how the wind is gonna be, but like
yeah.
have it taped down like a big banner. I don't know if you can print out, but like a big banner and just
Mm,
kiss the color. Or people if they're bored and they don't know what to do, they can go in color. Coloring is good for some people. Another spot just for them to play a little not Legos, but like something like sensory.
right. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Like, so I know, like at NetsuCon, I brought out some QB crafts. I don't know if you've seen those before.
A
Um, QB
QB.
crafts is basically like origami ish stuff, but you can make little characters out of here, let me try to pull up an image. You
It
can
was like
basically,
you know how like you have a group of friends and that like one near the stage and that one friend's like I just want to
yeah.
sit right here and I would just do my own thing.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had these at NetsuCon because it was indoors and it's like it's easier to control the elements, but it's basically just like origami type stuff. Like you know, you can have um people cut out their patterns and stuff and they fold them up into these shapes and there's different um skill levels for like some of them are really hard and some of them are a little easier so maybe something like that even if it just kind of depends on the wind and stuff too but
Yeah.
I'll definitely bring bubbles at the very least like you can't go wrong with a giant bubble
No.
maker thing.
People like bubbles.
Like, yeah it's gonna be really cool so yeah awesome hey thank you for not only like being a part of this like because I know you never really know what you're getting into with these things so like
No, I know.
thanks for taking that leap of faith and also for being the first person on our live stream.
I was like, I don't have nothing else to do. I was like, why not?
Yeah, yeah. Someone at work was just like, "You should do like live streams," and I was like,
Oh, that's
I,
great.
I hate being on camera, but I don't know." But at the same time, I like people, so it's like it all kind of balances out. So
No, for sure. And you can like always get clips of it on YouTube. Anything that you think was important or whatever, and just spam it on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, that's true
Just
too.
keep the whole marketing, all that social media, like, oh god,
Yeah, yeah, it's a full-time thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, sure, too, like you have to do a lot of self-promotion too for your art, I'm sure, right? It's a
Like you going home, you're like, okay, I need to finish this drawing. Okay, I need to make a time lapse. I need to do this because you got to keep being alive. Like, I'm not dead yet, guys. I'm swear.
right. Does it always take longer than you expect to? I'm just like, I'll sometimes set a timer. I'll be like, for 45 minutes, I'm gonna work on the events in the site. The timer will go off. I'm like, shut up. Like, some
It
back on
goes like this. You're like, I'm not done yet. I got 45 more minutes. This snooze.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Then it's like 10:30, 11 later, and I'm just like, oh crap, I gotta wake up for work tomorrow and do this all over again. But I don't know. It's the joy of life. I mean, I'm sure you
Yeah,
find pleasure in
yeah.
it too.
Oh no, for sure. Once you get to the event, it'll be all worth it. And once it's over, you're like, I did it. I
Exactly.
completed it. No one died. Here we go next year.
Exactly, and it keeps my brain out of trouble in the meantime because, like, I'm probably like you and most artists, like, you tend to get a little compulsive and, like, stuck in things, so where you choose to put that energy is, like, fundamental for how you're gonna feel, and so when I'm planning for stuff, when I'm, like, promoting these things, like, I feel like I'm on a really good track, and I'm sure, like, when you're creating artwork, like, you're in that flow state too, right?
That's what I say at 2 in the morning, and you're like, I keep going, but I should get sleep because I gotta wake up to go to work.
Yeah, well, hopefully one day we'll all make it. We can just be like, do what we love all day. But even if not, is whatever. I think we got it pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, we're chilling.
Heck yeah. So, all righty. Well, have a good night. I'm going to close up the stream. I'll probably use little clips here and there. If you got any questions, just hit me up. You know how to reach me. So,
Of course, and let me know if you need anything. I'm here to help.
awesome. Oh, thank you so much.
Of course, man. You're gonna do this now. You have to tell people like Daniel and Daniel.
Yeah.
Don't even tell your guy friends. It was last year. It was just Daniel, Daniel, and Daniel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had a bunch of help. I had Daniel, then Daniel showed up, and then Daniel helped us tear down, and then Daniel took a bunch of trash from the park out. Then Daniel drove out. Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to see that. Just take a picture of the park or something. Just Photoshop you doing the many things. Just I want to see that.
Be fun. We can do a time lapse photo like that.
It's just
Yeah. No, it's funny because that's part of the like, I'm honest about the reality of it. But I say we a lot in our press stuff, and I try to frame it as like we're this big thing because you got to fake it so you make it. But yeah, for the most part, it's just me running around like a crazy person trying to run it all. But you know, but it's fun, and I got a lot of help in reality. Like, I can't do it alone. So like all the different people that show up to do entertainment and all the artists, like that's really where the magic is. I'm kind of just the person that's like, "Psst, hey, like come over here, let's do something cool." And then it all falls together. So
I just imagined it's just.
yeah,
I was like, well, all right.
exactly. So hey, great meeting you.
Of
I'll
course.
see you in April, or
Yes.
chat with you before then. So all right, have a good night. Don't stay up too late doing art.
Have a good one.
You
All
too.
right.
See ya.